In a village where drums spoke history, one day, a drum spoke a warning. Welcome to Tales by Moonlight Africa, where African stories live forever in the air, carried by rhythm, firelight, and the wisdom of our ancestors. Tonight, sit close. Let the moon hear us. I bring you a story from the heart of West Africa, whispered by the elders, guarded by tradition, nearly lost to greed, but rescued by fate itself. This is the story of the talking drum of Tarkwa village. Tarkwa was a quiet settlement resting at the boundary of endless cocoa forests, nestled somewhere between the ancient trade paths of Ghana and Togo, where merchants once exchanged gold, kola nut, and stories older than dust. Though the village was small, its history thundered loudly not through scrolls or books, but through beats carved into a sacred drum the villagers called Dunkwa Noma, the drum that speaks. This drum was no ordinary gatherings, during coronations when a chief was crowned, or funerals when a warrior journeyed home to the ancestors. Kojo Mensa, the village's chief drummer, would strike the drum, and its rhythm would unfold into language. The people did not listen with ears alone, they listened with spirit. For the drum's message was always true. In its talking rhythm came words like, "A hero has fallen," or "The harvest will be abundant," or "The chief summons the council at once." Kojo was 68 years old, a man carved by time but not weakened by it. His arms were strong from decades of drumming truth into the hearts of his people. He learned the drum's secret language from his father, and his father from his own, tracing an unbroken line of 3 centuries. Kojo would always remind the young ones, to be a drummer is not to make sound, it is to speak truth, even when truth frightens the living. One night, stillness, even flames seemed to breathe slowly. It was during such a night, when the moon glowed fierce red like the eye of an angered ancestor, that Kojo sat alone at the shrine house where the sacred drum was kept. He polished its surface with palm kernel extract as he always did, preparing it for the next festival. But then, the air changed. It thickened, heavy and ancient. The candles danced, though no wind passed. And Kojo heard a voice he had never heard, low, hollow, vibrating through the drum itself. It whispered, "Beat me. Warning is coming." Kojo trembled but obeyed. The drum had never spoken without being beaten first. Never, not in his lifetime. But the shrine demanded he strike it. With aged but uncertain fingers, Kojo lifted his sticks and tapped gently once. The drum woke like thunder shaking off sleep. The response came instantly, not in words, but rhythm, convulsing its beating language as sweat formed on his forehead. Even in harmattan cold, the drum warned him, "A son of Tarkwa will betray soil and blood. Gold will blind him. Fire will greet flesh. Stop him before the millet dries." Kojo did not need oracles or palm reading to know the meaning. The drum spoke of Kwame Enoki, the chief's very own nephew. Kwame was 32, an admired young man educated in the city of Accra, charismatic, respected, trusted by both the elders and the youth. He wore fine shoes, iron shirts, a confident smile. But the smile hid hunger, a hunger for sudden wealth, a hunger flavored by gold. For Kwame desired to leave Tarkwa rich, even if Tarkwa itself faded into a mining exploration agreement with a foreign gold company, granting them access to dig into the sacred forest of Tarkwa, a forest no stranger was ever permitted to touch, for it held burial grounds, protected streams, and spirits of the land itself. None of the elders knew, but the drum knew. Before the cocks greeted the dawn, Kojo summoned the council. The chief, Nanakwaku Tarkwa II, stood angered, insisting, "My own blood? Impossible!" But the elders knew Kojo never lied when it came to the drum. So Kwame was summoned to stand before them. Kwame arrived calm, smiling even, his voice soft, polished but slippery like oil. He told them, "Gold is progress. Tradition is the chain. Tarkwa must move with the world." His uncle pleaded silence with eyes, but Kwame's own eyes betrayed guilt when Kojo leaned in and spoke the truth himself. If gold is progress, why are the deals hidden? If tradition is a chain, why do you dance to that makes dogs fear barking? The elders demanded proof. Kwame stalled, agreeing to go retrieve documents from his city apartment, but insisting they escort him through the forest shortcut instead. He agreed too easily, and fire waited there. Halfway down the forest path, Kwame pretended to fall. One elder rushed in concern to help him up. But with ancestral speed, Kwame pulled out a petrol lighter hidden in his sleeve and hurled flame into dry leaves he had soaked in fuel the night before. The forest roared, boom, but not the gentle roar. This one screamed fury of betrayal. Flames leapt like prowling beasts. One elder's cloth caught fire. Kojo's arm scorched. Nana's crown beads melted and snapped softly onto the earth, sounding like tears hitting soil. Through smoke and rage, Kwame cried out, "If I cannot have the wealth alone, the village will burn with me." The sacred drum vibrated violently, furious, commanding, awakening blood truth. The chief yelled, "Kojo, speak to the ancestors now!" Kojo dropped to his knees, wounded yet alive, raised the drum, and struck it 3 times with the rhythm of ancestral authority. And the drum spoke back in sound and spirit. Boom, 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 like thunder marching in rhythm. Immediately, lightning cracked across the sky. The heavens roared their own response. Thunder split the air. Then rain came rushing down, not gentle, but fierce, angry, cleansing, falling like spears of reckoning. The fire surrendered instantly, drowned by ancestral judgment. When smoke bowed to silence, Kwame lay on the wet forest floor, unconscious, burnt on one side, alive but undone, tears mixed with rainwater that already cooled the scorch of betrayal. The same elder he tried to burn now reached to, but because Tarkwa believed in Ubuntu that no man falls alone, even when he falls by his own hands. Kwame confessed later, not from a cushioned city chair, but from a woven mat in the shrine Kojo rebuilt slowly, piece by piece. The council chose justice over death. They stripped him of lineage privileges and tasked him to restore what he tried to destroy. Kojo survived. The chief forgave with conditions and wisdom. And the drum? It has remained silent ever since, only speaking when struck. But Kojo still says, during festival nights, with a knowing smile, drums may sleep, but truth never dies. And so, that is the tale of the talking drum of Tarkwa village. If this story touched your heart, prickled your curiosity, or awakened something ancestral within you, don't forget to subscribe for more African tales told in the voice of the land itself. Until the moon gathers us again, stay blessed, stay human, stay African,